Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Manjeet Singh from Punjabi University Patiala. Today we are going to talk on module Recent Trends in Economic Planning from the paper Business Environment. After completing this module, the students will be able to understand the concepts of economic planning in India. Secondly, you will also be in a position to understand the major market share of Indian economy. Thirdly, you should also be in a position to understand the various trends which have come up in the economic planning. Fourthly, you will be in a position to learn about the various initiatives which have been taken by the Government of India for the development of this country. And lastly, you will also be in a position to understand the new institution which has come up, that is Niti Aayog, for development of Indian economy. Economic planning is considered as the most systematic technique for addressing the economic ills. Various countries of the world have already experienced the successful implementation of economic planning in their own countries. Taking lessons from the other countries, the economic planning in the different countries in the world, India has also adopted economic planning in order to overcome the various economic ills which is being faced by the country during the middle part of the 20th century. In India, the first systematic effort or first systematic attempt of economic planning was made in 1934 when Mr. M. Visvesvaraya published his book Planned Economy for India. Again, in 1937, Indian National Congress set up National Planning Committee under the chairmanship of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. In the meantime, 8 leading industrialists of Bombay submitted the Bombay Plan in 1943. Again, Shri M. N. Roy also released simultaneously his 10 years People's Plan. After that, the National Planning Committee submitted its long-awaited report in 1948. So we can see that when we look at the historical perspective, it's not that planning started from 1951 onwards, but the efforts with regard to this were made in 1934 onwards. And during those 20 years, the foundations were made for the economic planning system which we are going to adopt in the independent India. As we can see that planning has given us a strong base for developing a modern, self-reliant economy. The planning system which we adopted is an important business environment because the direction of the development pattern of the various sectors and the relative priorities within each sector are given direction through the 5-year plans. The 5-year plans are drawn by the Planning Commission as per the guidelines given by the other statutory bodies like National Development Council, which is presided over by the Prime Minister, and the various Union Cabinet Ministers, Chief Ministers, and members of the Planning Commission are members of this. This council has a very important role to play in the formulation and the execution of the 5-year plans. It signifies that its role is federal and presents a democratic nature of Indian economy. Apart from the central plans, the states also have their plans. States have their jurisdiction with regard to the various vital sectors of development such as agriculture, small-scale industries, roads and transport, irrigation and power, education and social services, etc. The states also have their own way for planning, like they can have their own planning boards, they can have their own departments which coordinate the with work of the other departments for the preparation of development plans. And the present reports on execution of state plans is also done by them. State planning generally receives directions from a committee of state cabinet or it is supported by State Statistical Bureau. As we can see that when we adopted the new economic policy, which was characterized by liberalization, privatization, and globalization, there has been a major shift in the planning strategy. In the past, as we have observed, that a dominant role was played by the public sector and huge investments in the heavy industries and the basic industries were made through the public sector. However, after seven plans, the government realized that private sector also need to be emphasized, and afterwards private sector has gained greater significance, and from a highly centralized planning system we have gradually moved towards an indicative planning. The main objectives of the Indian plans have been proper utilization of natural resources, and these have to be in line with the national priorities for the fast development of the economy, poverty alleviation, employment generation, improvement in the standard of living in general. The other objectives of planning has been the rapid increase, focus on rapid increase in the income, employment generation, social and redistributive justice, self-reliance, etc. And they obviously means that they aim to achieve the objectives or the various aspects which have been mentioned above. After 70 years of independence and after having almost 6 decades of economic planning, it has been observed that the Indian plans have by and large failed to achieve the targets and the shortfalls are conspicuous in the several areas. The long-term average annual growth rate of the economy was only 3.5% and per capita income about 1.5%. There has been an acceleration in the growth after the sixth plan. However, despite all these odds, the progress has been made in almost all the spheres, all the important spheres. Of course, it would have been possible to achieve better results with a better planning, rather more efficient implementation of the programs and the pragmatic policies. Though it is very common to criticize the Indian planning for its failures, however, it is pointed out that the magnitude of poverty, unemployment, and so many other problems which are prevailing today, they have been on account of faulty planning. It is, however, not right to view the prevalence of these problems of large magnitude only as a reflection of failure of planning. These should be viewed as alarming problems of magnitude which no other country in the world except China, perhaps China, faces. After 70 years of independence and after 6 decades of planning, we can say that Indian industry today is highly diversified, producing a wide range of products, many embodying a high level of technology. The public sector, which has been criticized because of its lackluster performance, has commanded presence and has played a pioneering role in many areas. We have a broad entrepreneurial base and ample technological and managerial manpower, but some of the weaknesses have become evident. Much of our industry suffers from high cost. There is inadequate attention on quality. We have reached a watershed in our industrial development, and we need to focus on these problems. Now we'll talk about the current scenario of Indian economy. Indian economy has emerged as fastest growing economy in the world as per the Central Statistic Organization and as per the International Monetary Fund. According to the Economic Survey of 2015-16, the Indian economy has grown at more than 7% and is expected to maintain the pace in the coming years as well. The improvement in India's economic fundamentals has accelerated after 2015 with a combined impact of the government reforms, the stability, and the prudent policies. The Reserve Bank of India's inflation focus, supported by benign global commodity prices, have also made India a destination which many of the countries are aspiring for. According to IMF World Economic Outlook update, Indian economy is expected to grow at 7.7 to 7.75% during the coming years despite the uncertainties in the global markets. The economic survey had forecasted that we will keep on growing at more than 7% in the coming years. The foreign direct investment in India has also increased from 2015 onwards after the various initiatives which have been launched by the Government of India, most specifically the Make in India program. The various steps taken by the government in the recent times have shown positive results as India's GDP has increased over a period of time. According to Goldman Sachs report released in September 2015, India could grow at a potential of 8% on an average from the fiscal 2016 to 2020, powered by greater access to banking, technology adoption, urbanization, and other structural reforms. Now let's talk about the recent trends in economic planning in India for the economic growth. Now with the improvement in the economic scenario in India, Indian government is planning for various investments in the economy which have led to the increased mergers and acquisitions activity. Some of them are as follows. India has emerged as one of the strongest performer with respect to the deals across the world in terms of mergers and acquisitions. The total transaction value of mergers and acquisition involving Indian companies stood at 26.3 billion US dollars with 930 deals in 2015 as against 29.4 billion US dollars involving 870 deals in 2014. In the merger and acquisition space, telecom was the dominant sector, amounting to 40% of the total transaction value. Also, the private equity investments increased 80% year-to-year basis to 1.43 billion US dollars. Total private equity investments in India for the 2015 reached to a record high of 19.5 billion US dollars through 159 deals according to the PwC report. According to World Bank, India's per capita income is expected to cross rupees 100,000, that is 1,505 US dollar in financial year 2017 from rupees 93,200 1,431 rupees, and if we convert it into US dollar, it is 1,403 US dollars in the financial year 2016. Numerous foreign companies are setting up their facilities in India on account of the various government initiatives like Make in India, Digital India, and so many others. Our new Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has launched Make in India initiative with an aim to boost the manufacturing sector of the economy. This initiative is expected to increase the purchasing power of an average consumer, which would further boost the demand, and hence it will give impetus to the development in addition to benefiting the investors. Besides, the government has also come up with a Digital India initiative, which focuses on three core components. The first is creation of digital infrastructure, second is delivering services digitally, and third is to increase the digital literacy. Finance Minister Mr. Arun Jaitley has said that the government is looking at a number of reforms and resolutions of pending tax disputes to attract the investment. So that is going to be another major initiative in this direction. Currently, the manufacturing sector in India contributes over 15% of the GDP. The Government of India, under the Make in India initiative, is trying to give boost to the contribution made by manufacturing sector and aims to take it up to 25% of GDP by 2022. Following are the government's initiatives for increasing the investment. Firstly, the Union government has approved the introduction of several short-term, that is within 1 year, and medium-term measures, that is within 2 years, to be implemented by the government ministries, department, and organizations for the promotion of digital economy and to reduce the cash economy. Government of India has prioritized the stability as the key aspect of India's development, and to achieve this, the government aims to encourage education, skill development, digital connectivity, and entrepreneurship in a sustainable manner. Recently, our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, announced at the International Monetary Fund conference on Advancing Asia Investing for the Future in New Delhi that the government will continue to bring in new reforms for transforming the economy without resorting to undervaluing its exchange rate to boost the trade. The Government of India plans to build 5 new railway links with Nepal, which will boost India's economic links with its neighboring country to promote the growth, employment, and prosperity in the region. The Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs has approved the allocation of coal linkages for the non-regulated sectors such as cement, steel, aluminium, and other sectors through the route of e-auction to be conducted in April 2016, which is expected to bring transparency in the allotment process and to ensure all market participants to have a fair opportunity to secure coal for their operations. Government of India also plans to create a national investment grid to map business opportunities across the country, which will make it easier for the investors, especially the domestic investors, to access and explore the investment opportunities. The Government of India has also launched Startup India initiative and unveiled Startup Action Plan, which includes creation of a dedicated startup fund worth rupees 10,000 crores which constitutes around 1.47 billion US dollars, apart from the other initiatives like no tax on profit for the first 3 years and the relaxed labor laws. Under the Digital India initiative, numerous steps have been taken by the Government of India. Some of them are as follows. The Government of India has launched a digital employment exchange which will allow the industrial enterprises to find suitable workers and job seekers to find employment. The core purpose of this initiative is to strengthen the communication between the stakeholders and to improve the efficiencies in the service delivery in the MSME ministry. According to officials at MSME Ministry, over 200,000 people have so far registered on this website. The Ministry of Human Resource Development recently launched Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan's e-initiative, aimed at providing information about the students electronically on a digital platform. The program is a step towards realizing Digital India and will depict good governance. The Government of India has announced all the major tourist spots like Sarnath, Bodh Gaya, Taj Mahal. They will have a Wi-Fi facility as part of Digital India initiative. Based on the recommendations of Foreign Investment Promotion Board, FDI inflows have increased 40% during April to December 2015 and they are expected to reach 29.44 billion US dollars. The Government of India has also launched the initiative to create 100 small cities as well as Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation for 500 cities with an outlay of rupees 48,000 crores, which approximately is around $7.47 billion, and rupees 50,000 crores, that is 7.34 billion US dollars respectively. Smart cities are satellite towns of larger cities which will consist of modern infrastructure and will be digitally connected. The program was formally launched on June 25, 2015. The phase 1 for the smart city Kochi will be built on the total area of 650,000 square feet, having a floor space greater than 100,000 square feet. Besides, it will also generate a total of 6,000 jobs in the IT sector. The road ahead. International Monetary Fund and Moody's Investor Services have forecasted that India will witness a GDP growth of 7.5% in 2016 due to improved investor confidence, lower food prices, and better policy reforms. Besides, according to mid-year update of United Nations World Economic Situation, the prospects India is expected to grow at more than 7.5% and in the year 2016. As per the latest global economic prospects, reports by World Bank, the bank believes that India will become a fastest growing major economy by 2016. Furthermore, initiatives like Make in India, Digital India will play a vital role in deriving the growth of Indian economy. Now, let's talk about one of the important trend in Indian economic planning, that was with regard to the new initiative which the government has taken to give impetus to the manufacturing sector in India. Make in India is this new national program of the Government of India designed to facilitate investment, foster innovation, enhance skill development, protect intellectual property, and build best in class manufacturing infrastructure in the country. The primary objective of this initiative is to attract investments from across the globe and strengthen India's manufacturing sector. It is being led by the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. The Make in India program is very important for the economic growth of India as it's aimed at utilizing the Indian talent base, creating additional employment opportunities, and empowering secondary and tertiary sector. The program also aims at improving India's rank on the Ease of Doing Business Index by eliminating the unnecessary laws and the regulations, making bureaucratic processes easier, and making the government more transparent, responsive, and accountable. The focus of Make in India program is on 25 sectors. These include automobiles, aviation, chemicals, IT and BPM, pharmaceuticals, construction, defense, electrical machinery, food processing, textiles and garments, ports, leather, media and entertainment, wellness, mining, tourism and hospitality, railways, automobiles, renewable energy, biotechnology, space, thermal power, roads and highways, and electronic systems. The dedicated website for this initiative not only showcases the 25 sectors but also puts focus on the live projects like industrial corridors and policies in the area of foreign direct investment, national manufacturing, intellectual property, and the new initiative. The investor facilitation cell is an integral part of this website which aims at providing all the information and data analysis to investors across different sectors. The Make in India initiative has become the largest and the fastest growing government initiative ever, with over 2.1 billion global impressions on social media on its Facebook page, according to an official release which was released. The initiative has been highlighted by key industrial events. The Make in India program was the key message on Brand India at the annual meeting of World Economic Forum at Davos. The India launch set up by India Brand Equity Foundation was inspired by the Make in India program and with the strategic communication campaign to create brand resonance. Make in India is also the theme for India's participation in other countries. Apart from these initiatives, another major highlight and the trend in the recent planning is the Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog consists of leaders from all the states of India and the union territories. Prime Minister of the country will act as a chairman and all the full-time staff members and a deputy chairman, chief executive officers and experts of the states will be answerable directly to the Prime Minister of India for this initiative. The new National Institution for Transforming India will work just like a think tank or a forum and implement and execute programs by taking the advice from the states along with them. This is in sharp contrast with the defunct Planning Commission, which imposed 5-year plans and allocated resources while running the roughshod over the requests of various states. The Niti Aayog will also put an end to the slow and tardy execution or implementation of policy by fostering better interministerial coordination and better center-state coordination. It will help to evolve a shared vision of the national development priorities and will foster cooperative federalism, recognizing that strong states make strong nations. Now, dear students, let us now try to summarize what we have learned from this module. As we have observed that during last 70 years of economic planning, the major changes have taken place. Earlier, the focus was on public sector and other priority areas, whereas now we have seen that the focus is more and more on the private sector. Though India has emerged as one of the fastest developing economy in the world, but still there are many areas where we need to work upon. And looking into all these aspects, the government has launched the new initiatives which are in line with the new economic planning initiatives. One of that initiative is Make in India initiative, which aims at enhancing the share of Indian manufacturing sector to the GDP to the tune of 25% in the next 10 years. It is, in fact, long overdue to emphasize our manufacturing sector, because when the manufacturing sector is developed, it creates lot many job opportunities. And when we look at India's youth and India's young population, if we want to sustain our development, then emphasizing on the manufacturing sector is the need of the hour. So that's why the government has launched this particular project, this particular initiative, so that more and more jobs can be created. Secondly, this initiative will also bring in more and more FDI so that the much needed capital can be attracted to foster India's growth. Third aspect is that with more and more information technology coming up and giving breakthroughs in the various spheres of the development, the government of India has come up with the various digital initiatives. And in the Make in India initiative as well, when the smart cities will be created, more and more research and development and innovation can be fostered, which can give India an edge in the years to come. And to do all this, the government has also come up with a new system of development, and the Planning Commission has been replaced by Niti Aayog, which will give more innovative concept of participative decision making for the planning process. Thank you.